Scott Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to another wild day. Just some things going on in the world that are hard to believe. And if you didn't see them with your own eyes, of course, that doesn't mean anything anymore either. You could see it with your own eyes, and it still might not be true.
That is a fact.
So we're just in a weird and pretty dangerous place. You're in a really dangerous place if you're in the Middle East right now. That's not going real well. It's probably suboptimal. Yesterday, there was video circulating showing Iranian state TV live on the air as an Israeli airstrike happened. Uh-oh. Pretty amazing. Watch this.
What
are you yelling about? Okay.
He's saying sports coming up.
Yeah. Traffic and weather together. Oh no. Oh, geez. Wow. Wow. I mean, right in the middle of the live broadcast, an Israeli airstrike hit that building. It's incredible. First thing I thought was, okay, that's probably AI. Mm-hmm. And nope, it wasn't. Nope.
She's not a symbol of freedom.
She's not?
She is a symbol of freedom for the Iranians, and the people from Iran that have gotten gold medal has given her the gold medal because she stood for freedom.
Who gave her the gold
medal? The gold medal gave her the gold medal.
The people that earn gold medals in Iran.
The people that earn gold medals
in Iran
gave her
their gold medals because she stood for freedom.
So they don't. These are people who earn the gold medals, but they also give the gold medals?
That's how it's being reported. They were like, we'll give this gold medal to her because she stood for freedom.
Okay.
I'm like, what does that mean?
So whoever it is that gives, if we could translate this for those who don't speak Tartarian, I believe what he's trying to say is that the people who give gold medals for whatever reason, standing for freedom, for instance, gave her one. Is that accurate, Chris?
Yes, that is accurate.
Okay. It's an accurate appraisal of what we...
She was honored all last night because of what she did in that video.
Huh. So what she did in the video?
What she did in the video.
So it wasn't something that she did before.
It's what she did.
So she got up out of her chair and...
No, she stood for freedom.
No. She didn't stand for long.
That doesn't look like standing for freedom. What would she get talking about?
What she stood for, she's a symbol of hope.
Wow.
Like all over the Iranian Telegram, because I subscribe to
Interesting.
Them, she keeps getting popped up and images for her and gold medal for her. I'm like, what?
Okay,
she didn't do anything.
Very weird.
So here we go, Pat. There's an Iranian sports shooter named Javad Foroughi who won gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics, who gave her his gold medal.
Okay. And so it wasn't the people who give the gold medals? I thought there was maybe a committee or a group of some sort that hands out gold medals.
Karate champion also gave.
Let that go, huh?
So somebody who won a gold medal in the Olympics gave it to her.
So a couple of guys, sounds like.
Yep, a couple of guys.
I don't know.
So now she has multiple Olympic gold medals?
She has 2. For standing for freedom.
Good for her.
Okay.
Because there's not like a plethora of Iranian gold medals to go around from the Olympics.
That's a fact.
So that's interesting.
That is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff going on there. I don't guess we ever got to the weather guy, so we don't know what the forecast is going to be because they had to cut the news short.
Not to mention the sports. Where's the sports anchor? What, are you going to split the building just because one little bomb?
Yeah, we got stuff to talk about, like soccer matches and whatnot. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at it afterward. That's
amazing.
That's fun. Okay, well, war is hell.
So that's what it looked like after being attacked. President Trump was at the G7 summit in Western Canada, where he was asked about the Iranian situation.
Have you heard any signals or seen any messages from intermediaries that Iran wishes to de-escalate the conflict?
Yeah.
What have you heard? What have you heard from the Iranians?
They'd like to talk, but they should have done that before. I had 60 days, and they had 60 days, and on the 61st day, I said, we don't have a deal. they have to make a deal. And it's painful for both parties, but I'd say Iran is not winning this war. And they should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late.
Yep. He was also asked about Tucker Carlson, who's not on board with U.S. involvement against Iran. Here was a little bit of a dig from the president about Tucker.
So he's done really a very good job.
What was your response to Tucker Carlson criticizing you, saying that you were complicit in the war?
I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen.
And quickly, have you spoken to...
Dang, bro. Okay.
There you go. All right. So, little problem with Tucker Carlson at the present time. But that's what happens when you displease the president. You're going to have a little problem with him. And he's not going to be silent about it. He's not exactly a wallflower. I don't know if you've noticed that. But President Trump, not a wallflower. Earlier, Carlson had appeared on Steve Bannon's War Room. I guess that's a podcast because everybody has one.
Yeah.
He said, I actually really love Trump. I think he's a deeply humane, kind person, but I'm really afraid that my country's going to be further weakened by this. I think we're going to see the end of the American empire. Wow. In the same newsletter, Carlson questioned MAGA politicians' dedication to America First policies. Politicians purporting to be America First can't now credibly turn around and say they had nothing to do with it. Which, of course, that's what the president is saying. So, a little bit of a rift there. I don't know. Some conservatives have just completely turned their backs on Israel, and they don't want us to support them in any way. I don't know where that's coming from exactly.
Yeah, it's tough to delineate right now who's against war and who's against Israel.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of the thing. And I posted 3 polls last night on Twitter. For a guaranteed end result of regime change in Iran, are you willing to commit U.S. troops on the ground in that country? We're at 95-5, no.
Yeah.
For a guaranteed end result of regime change in Iran, are you willing to commit U.S. ships, bombers, and fighter jets over that country? We're at 70-30, no, do not use U.S. weapons. And then lastly, for a guaranteed end result of regime change in Iran, are you willing to commit U.S. advisors that the entire world knew was present in Israel? It would be known that these former American advisors were planning alongside Israel in their war against Iran. We're at 65-35, no, do not send advisors.
So I think what that says about Americans is we're fed up. We're tired.
Yep.
Tired of war. We don't want to get into anybody else's affair. And it's not isolationism. It's just that we're tired of interventionism to the point where we don't want to get involved in anything. And that includes this Middle Eastern conflict, which everybody knows could devolve into an all-out war for the entire world. That is a possibility when you're messing with this stuff. So, I don't know. But yes, I think there's some anti-Semitism that's entering into that as well.
Yeah.
Which is not good. 8 more Israelis died in attacks yesterday. I think the count is up to 24 dead. Hundreds have been injured. So, it's not good. They're living under a real threat of being destroyed, both sides right now. And I think Israel is getting the best of them, but I mean, Iran has a lot of resources. They could keep this going for some time if things don't calm down. President Trump mentioned yesterday that he'd be leaving the summit early.
President, any statement on why you're leaving the G7 early for Washington?
Well, I have to be back. Very important. I want to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you in Canada. But you probably see what I see, and I have to be back as soon as I can. I'm going to have dinner with these wonderful leaders, and then I get on the plane. I have to be back early.
Have you heard the National Security Council?
I loved it. I tell you, I loved it. And I think we got a lot done. Really a lot done. In fact, UK, we signed a big trade deal today.
Big trade deal with
We're working
Britain.
on others, but we had just a really great relationship with everybody. And It's really nice.
Good.
I wish I could stay for tomorrow, but they understand.
Is there a reason,
big,
Mr. President,
this is big
that you
stuff.
Answered you.
And he just essentially said, look, I can't talk about the reason that I'm going back, but it's important. I've got to go back.
Well, can you tell us what the reason is you're going back?
No, as I just explained to you, no, I can't.
Yeah, but Mr. President, we're wondering about the reason you're going back. Why can't you just stay here longer?
Oh, man. So Caroline Leavitt tweeted this out. President Trump had a great day at the G7 summit, even signing a major trade deal with the United Kingdom and Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Much was accomplished, but because of what's going on in the Middle East, President Trump will be leaving tonight after dinner with the heads of state. Now, Macron said that he was leaving to put together a ceasefire between Iran and Israel, but the president denied that. Said Emmanuel's always wrong. He doesn't know what I'm going back for. It's much bigger than that, he said. Interestingly, too, there's a story in the UK Express about the body language of Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni.
Oh, we got that video coming up. Do you want to get to it now?
Yeah.
Clip 17. Yeah.
And goes a little something like this. Okay.
Nothing official yet. They haven't turned on the microphones, and sometimes they can pick something up in the side conversations. But
okay.
Hates him.
So from that, they have inferred that that was about Trump. I mean, is there any indication there that that's about Trump? No. The headline was, "She is so done with him," and then let me read this to you. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni appeared less than impressed during her first G7 summit with Donald Trump, as a body language expert revealed what was really going on behind the scenes. Speaking exclusively to the Express on behalf of Oddspedia, so these are all really reliable sources. You can tell that right from the start. Celebrity, psychic, and body language expert Inbal Honigman said Meloni's body language revealed her true feelings about the meeting and Donald Trump. Meloni's physical posture is very revealing of her feelings. Oh, well, okay. If it comes from a celebrity, psychic, and body language expert, and especially Ingbal Honigman, it must be true, right? It has to be.
Yeah, do we know what they were talking about at all?
We have no idea.
And besides...
But they make it about Trump not having any clue as to what she was talking about. Could have been Trump, I guess, but it could have been anything.
Was it not Macron that she just hated shaking his hand at that one event a few months ago?
Yes.
So maybe she was rolling her eyes at him.
Maybe. Or who knows what else. I mean, Trump, I don't think, was even in the area at the time. It's so bizarre. How do you figure that? Well, it's a celebrity psychic, so that's how they knew. Usually the only person more credible than a celebrity psychic would be a pet psychic, right? Somebody who can read your pet's minds.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe the UK Express couldn't find a pet psychic on really short notice, so they had to settle for the celebrity psychic, which is too bad because I would have liked to have known exactly what it was she was thinking the whole time. That's how far they go, though, to spin negative stories about Donald Trump and to make sure that they hate him and they want you to hate him as much as they do.
Yeah.
God, just incredible. No credibility from any of these so-called journalists anymore. Let me tell you about preborn. As abortion continues to rise, preborn is expanding their life-affirming care in the darkest corners of our nation to help more hurting women and save more babies. If you have the means, would you please consider a leadership gift to save babies in a really big way? Your tax-deductible donation of $15,000 would place a machine in a needy women's center, saving countless lives for years to come. A recent bombshell report revealed that the abortion pill is literally 10 times more dangerous than the FDA has been claiming it is. 11% of women experience really serious side effects from it. Horrifyingly, the abortion pill accounts for over 60% of abortions now. And with an average of over 1 million babies being aborted every year in the U.S., that's 66,000 women who will be harmed by the abortion pill just this year alone. So that's what they call health care at Planned Parenthood? I don't think so. Let me tell you what real health care looks like. It looks like what Preborn's network of clinics do for women and their babies. They've saved over 67,000 babies just last year. Preborn not only provides for the physical and emotional needs of mothers, but also shares hope for their soul through God's love in the gospel. Once a woman sees her baby and hears the heartbeat, her baby's chances at life double. One ultrasound is just $28, and $140 helps to rescue 5 babies. But any gift will help, and all gifts are tax deductible. To donate, just dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed continues.
President Trump also warned Iranians. He's basically saying if you live in Tehran, you need to leave. Here's what traffic looked like. So some people are heeding the warning, apparently. Look at that. Wow.
Ooh. Who's that headed in? Is it the chick going back to the news station?
I'm not sure we have that information, but it very well could be, Keith, because she's a symbol of freedom now. So, wow. 9 million people live in Tehran.
That's a lot of people.
9 million. Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah, that timeline last night was jumping. China was telling their citizens to get out of Israel. Yep. Trump was warning Tehran to get out. He was headed back to meet with the National Security Council. I mean, boy, last night was a little tense.
Yeah, it's serious. Mm-hmm. President Trump also ordered the National Security Council to convene in the Situation Room, and he headed back. He landed at 5 a.m. Eastern this morning.
Just this morning, yeah.
Safe to say, he's got a pretty busy schedule ahead today. I don't know if it's as busy as what we're doing.
Yeah, what do you got going on?
I was going to say no.
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
Well, a lot. I mean, a lot of stuff.
Well, let's see who's busier, you or the president.
I don't want to brag. I just,
yes,
and
you're a humble man.
Right. Bring people down who don't have quite the hectic schedule that I have.
Bring them down? Wow.
Yeah, they'll feel, I don't know.
It's embarrassing for them.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, compared.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Instead of them making us feel bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're making them feel bad.
I see.
Last night there was a lot of business happening at pizza joints around the Pentagon.
Yeah, there's a great account. Yeah, so you see how it was busier?
Yep.
Much busier than usual?
Much. Mm-hmm.
What is that? There's a
group that keeps track of this.
Yes, and they check the. I'm trying to find the.
They check the Domino's near the Pentagon for one, but there's a whole bunch.
Well, not just the pizza places. They also check the gay bars.
Yeah. Well, hang on a second. So
traffic was light there.
Yes, it was. A lot lighter than usual. But at Penn Pizza Report on X.
Okay.
That's where they track all the pizza stuff. But Chris is right. The gay bars, the traffic there was much lower.
Well, they were working, I guess.
I guess so.
I guess they were all hard at work. So,
and to be fair, also the Freddy's Beach Bar.
Freddy's Beach Bar. Mm-hmm.
Which a little bit lower.
Quite a bit lower.
And then the... there's another one. It was not just a gay bar. There was just another bar right next to the gay bar. Also low traffic.
So for a Monday night, I'm looking at it right now. For a Monday night, traffic was about 80% less than usual at Freddy's Beach Bar.
Oh, man.
So I guess they were busy doing other things.
I guess so. Can't imagine what. But apparently they had something else to do other than their normal gay bar routine, which, you hate to see that get interrupted. Because...
And on a Monday night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So weird. It's so weird, too. What can affect national security? I mean, when you got people reporting on, something's going on at the Pentagon, we're about to attack somebody or help somebody attack somebody else. I mean, that's a little dangerous. I think it might be worth the Pentagon getting their own pizza joint inside the building.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe open up a Domino's or a Papa John's inside the Pentagon. And that way it'll stealth everything up just a little bit.
I mean, you could be war-proof if you owned a gay bar and a pizza joint near the Pentagon, because then you're going to be fine either way.
Right.
Peacetime or wartime.
I know.
All bases are covered.
And the funny thing is that Pan Pizza, he was reporting that both Domino's are like overworked, but then the other pizzerias have zero traffic.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Wow. I guess there's Domino's fans at the Pentagon, right? Yesterday, we brought up the F-35 situation. A little bit of an update on that because I mentioned that no F-35 has ever been shut down in combat. I talked about that here and while filling in for Glenn yesterday, and some people were pushing back against that because there were some stories that were posted Saturday from Iran claiming that they shot down 3 F-35s in one day. Again, they didn't. The video was from a video game. The jets in the video weren't even F-35s. They were Soviet jets. And the photo of a downed F-35 was just flat out faked. And even left-wing Snopes debunked it. Mentioned that it was, in fact, a fake. That was not an F-35. Because those are just really, really difficult to shoot down. It's a 5th-generation fighter. America, by the way, is already on to the 6th generation of fighter jets. According to some reports, it's already ready to go and about to be deployed. Now, it's kind of cloaked in secrecy, but pretty amazing tech in the new 6th-generation fighter, which they're thinking about naming the F-47 in honor of Donald Trump being the 47th president, which is pissing some people off, of course. But some of the rumored capabilities of the 6th-generation jet fighter that we're working on or is already deployed in some cases, they're expected to be even more stealthy than their predecessors. That's one of the things that keeps it from being shot down, really hard to detect. It's got improved airframe design and avionics. It's equipped with artificial intelligence. AI will play a crucial role, they say, potentially enabling optionally manned or even unmanned flight and enhancing situational awareness. It comes with directed energy weapons, lasers, and high-powered microwaves that could be integrated for both offensive and defensive purposes. They might operate alongside and control drone swarms, acting as a flying command center. They have a longer range, sustained supersonic cruising speeds up to Mach 2, and maybe even higher. As I've heard, they can go maybe as high as Mach 5 or even Mach 6. Mach 2 is over 1,500 miles per hour. Mach 5 is 3,800 miles per hour, and 6 is 4,600. 4,600 miles per hour. It's hard to even imagine. Plus, it's capable of launching the new hypersonic missile that we're also pairing with the jet. Just developed that once it's launched, it's capable of traveling at Mach 17, which is 13,000 miles an hour. Pretty fast. Tough to shoot that down when it's going that fast. But anyway, these are marvels, and will just expand American air superiority, which is really great. Hopefully we'll never have to use them. But it's nice that they're there and on the shelf.
I'm still bugged, though, that the F-47 is going to be built by Boeing. After all of Boeing's issues lately,
I know.
Would like to not put our young people defending this country in faulty
It does seem a bit sketchy with all they've had going on. Meanwhile, Benjamin Netanyahu talked about America first as it relates to the U.S. role with Israel while they battle with Iran.
It's Tel Aviv. Tomorrow it's New York. I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind, of humanity, and it's a battle of good against evil. America should and does stand with the good. That's what President Trump is doing, and I deeply appreciate his support.
John Carl joins me now. So, John,
wait, do we need this whole thing?
No, I guess we decided no.
Okay. Chris, did you want the whole clip?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. That's on me. I forgot to tell him to crop the end.
Cool.
But Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth had this to say last night.
You're going to be in the Situation Room pretty soon with the president. Is he still aiming for a nuclear deal with the Iranians?
Of course. The president's, as he said today, his position has not changed. What you're watching in real time is peace through strength and America first. Our job is to be strong. We are postured defensively in the region to be strong in pursuit of a peace deal. And we certainly hope that's what happens here. And America first means we're going to defend American personnel and American interests. So when you see jets and you see air defense assets and counter UAS assets, that's because my job as the Secretary of Defense is to ensure that our people are safe and that we're strong so that we can set the conditions for a deal. And President Trump's made it clear it's on the table. The question is whether Iran will take it.
All right. So the deal is still on the table, but all options are on the table from what it sounds like. What does that look like?
What it looks like right now is we're vigilant. We're prepared. And we've messaged consistently from the beginning that we're in the region to defend our people and our assets. And Israel took an action out of self-defense. We believe that Iran, as President has said from the beginning, should not have a nuclear weapon. That position hasn't changed. They can give it up peacefully. That position hasn't changed. And as a result, right now, we've got assets in the region and we're going to defend them. And we're going to be strong in the process. So people are reading into a lot of aspects right now. We're strong. We're prepared. We're defensive. And President Trump hopes there can be peace.
So many ways, though, this can go sideways, and so many ways that we could get sucked into it. Iran's already threatening to close the Straits of Hormuz, which you can't allow. You just can't. You can't allow that. It would shut off the oil supply, like 20% of the oil supply throughout the world. So, yeah, it's in everybody's best interest that can't happen. And that's why we've moved carrier groups into the area right now.
Yeah, and I did see a story that suggested Iran is, quote, urgently seeking to resume peace talks with Israel if the U.S. doesn't join. So there's all sorts of reports, man.
Yeah.
I think the most confusing is this Tulsi Gabbard clip that we have here from March 26th, 2025. You might recognize that as just 2.5 months ago. Mm-hmm. Listen to what she says here. This is very interesting.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003.
Oh.
The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
The IC meaning the intelligence community, right?
Yeah, yes.
So U.S. intelligence was saying 2 months ago that they're not developing a nuclear weapon, that it was for peaceful purposes.
I mean, what are we?
I have seen that talked about a little bit, is that U.S. intelligence thought that they're not going after a bomb.
So, I mean, I don't know what to believe anymore, honestly.
Yeah,
I will say that...
how do you know?
It has been reported that Camp David meeting that Trump had with advisors on June 8th, Tulsi, the director of national intelligence, was not there. It has been reported.
Wow. Interesting.
I don't know if she's getting boxed out. I don't know.
Who and what do you believe? 888-900-3393. More coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
hideous Tim Walz appointee murderer has been charged now with some crimes. Second-degree murder and attempted murder. Second degree? How is that possible? You don't charge him with first-degree murder. Are you saying this wasn't premeditated? What, he did it on the spur of the moment?
I think that'll get updated as we move along.
Hopefully, because that's ridiculous. Also, there was a chance for a police officer to stop this guy before he attacked and killed the second senator, right? He'd already shot and severely wounded the first two.
Yes.
Then he was sitting in his vehicle
at the third home.
At the third home.
So at the first home, the state rep was not home. The second home, he injured the couple.
Mm-hmm.
The third home, this is where this story picks up.
So a police officer approached him while he was sitting in the vehicle?
Yes. The police officer reported that the individual sitting in the black SUV was a white, bald male looking straight forward. The officer tried to speak with the man, but he continued staring ahead and did not respond. The officer drove away.
Obviously, then you're just going to drive away, right?
Public officials, two residents saw no sign of distress.
Unbelievable.
Waited until additional law enforcement joined her. By the time they did, the dark SUV has left the area to the fourth home.
Yeah, that was...
So she approached. He wouldn't speak to her, just kept staring straight ahead.
Yes.
And so she just left.
She just
okay. He doesn't want to talk, so I'm just going to go.
And by the way, she described the vehicle as a police-style light bar equipped with that resembles a squad car. How about you say, hey, sir,
hey, what are you doing?
Identify yourself.
Right.
Yeah, what jurisdiction are you with?
Yes.
Wow.
And we have images from her dash cam and everything. And yes, it does look like a police car. But if by this time you're doing a wellness check on public official number 2, everything for me should say, okay, let me check this vehicle out.
Yeah, I should be on high alert. And especially when the officer drove up and saw the fake cop car, I don't know if that officer looked at the license plate to see that it just read police as the license plate.
Is that not official?
That's what his
a lot
license
of
plate
mistakes.
was. Yeah.
A lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Not good.
Hindsight, of course, is 20/20, but that does sound negligent.
Yeah.
How do you not at least push that a little bit further? You've already had a shooting. She must have known about that, right?
Yes, because
did she know about
because now that's I'm having an issue because it was a wellness check because by the time they're
on high alert.
The dots, they realized, wait, someone is targeting a representative. Let's go check public official 2.
Yep.
Wow.
And just taking that extra initiative to just say, hey, let me make sure that 2 people are dead and a family is forever shattered.
Right.
You could have stopped it right there. And again, it's an impossible job.
It's really
to be a police officer.
Yes.
But you read something like this and
there's
you
some
think,
obvious things.
It's your job to be suspicious, right, officer? Especially when you're on heightened alert.
I will tell you, every time I have gotten pulled over, especially when it's dark, the cops always ask me, where are you headed? Where are you going?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yes.
Where'd you come from? Where do you live? They just always do that. Now, you're telling me when there's a heightened situation going on where somebody's been shot, you approach a vehicle that looks like a police car, staring forward, won't answer you, won't respond, and you just leave it alone and go back to your car and drive off. All right. Strange.
Very strange.
Just so many weird elements to this. Very bizarre. The assassin also texted his family on the night of the shooting. I guess it was the morning after the shooting.
Yes.
Afterwards.
Yeah. And he texted, Dad went to war last night.
This is some weird cat, man.
No kidding. This was after he had killed the state rep and her husband, severely wounded the other ones by pumping 9 rounds, 8 and 9 rounds into their bodies. Fortunately, they survived. They continue to recover. But how weird is that? Dad went to war last night. I don't want to say more because I don't want to implicate anybody. Okay.
Yeah, he left, what, 10 grand?
10 grand passports.
All sorts of stuff for them to
Guns,
help her get out
ammo.
of Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My gosh.
He's got 5 kids.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Wow.
5 kids, and I believe
All with
they're
the same woman?
teenagers. I don't know. But I believe to be between teenagers to elementary school.
Man. So, U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson was part of a press conference that updated the killings in Minnesota, and apparently there was no manifesto.
That came from initially.
Can you identify the potential motive here? It has been widely reported that the list, this hit list, contained names of people who are abortion rights supporters. And also, can you please release the names of the 2 other targeted victims who were fortunate to get away?
As I said, with respect to the other 2 potential victims, I think it's up to them whether they want to publicly identify themselves. As I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they do. They're elected officials, but that's their right. Obviously, they may have families and children and privacy interests that they need to sort through. So I'll let them do that. With respect to the potential motive, let me say this. There's been a lot of press coverage and speculation and discussion of a manifesto. I've seen nothing like a Unabomber-style manifesto in his writings. He had many, many notebooks full of plans, lists of names, surveillance, efforts that he took to surveil and locate the home addresses and family members' relationships with these elected officials. But I have not seen anything involving some sort of political screed or manifesto that would clearly identify what motivated him. Obviously, his primary motive was to go out and murder people. Now, they were all elected officials. They were all Democrats. Beyond that, I think it's just way too speculative for anyone who has reviewed these materials to know and to say what was motivating him in terms of ideology or specific issues. There's a lot of...
For abortion rights supporters?
There were some abortion rights supporters, I believe, on the list. But again, there was dozens and dozens and dozens of names on, hundreds of pages of documents that were recovered with his writings on them.
Did he confess and give more details after he was apprehended last night?
I'm not going to comment on that at this time.
Yeah.
So is this next one about what we just talked about, the police officer that did nothing when she should have?
We just walked through the whole thing.
But the roommate was talking again as well.
Oh, gosh. Are we going to make it through 2.5 minutes of this greaser?
We'll see.
He's interesting.
Okay.
Can you talk about his politics a little bit? I know that you had some discussions. I just wanted to talk.
Well, everyone's calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat.
Okay.
He would be offended if people called him a Democrat.
You don't want to do that.
But because of this board thing he was on for Governor Walz, it wasn't to serve. He was just serving the community.
Okay.
But I can't believe a political issue would cause him to do such a thing.
Did he ever bring up the senator or the representative who were targeted?
Like I was saying, no, he never talked about those people. I didn't know those people. I didn't recognize their names.
Any politicians he mentioned?
Well, he mentioned Nancy Pelosi. They didn't like Jim Walz.
Jim Walz?
They didn't like Jim Biden.
Okay, hold on. The guy doesn't know the name of the governor or the former president. Jim Walz, Jim Biden, didn't like them. This guy, okay, this is so...
And again, the whole arrangement with where he lived and with whom is so weird. Maybe he and his wife were estranged. I just haven't heard that part of it.
I've not heard that either.
Have you heard that?
No, I've not heard that either.
So he's got a roommate, but he also has a wife and children.
And can we talk
I don't
about
know.
the roommate just for a second? I mean, Saturday, I understand he was caught off guard. He's sitting on his front stoop and everything.
Yes.
He's had 2 days to take a shower, maybe clean up a little bit. But good grief, man.
Maybe that is cleaned up for him.
Maybe that's
I was just going to say that's his good shirt. That's his good red shirt. But I think he loses credibility when he calls Tim Jim.
Yeah.
Yes,
Jim
he
Walz
does.
and Jim Biden.
Because it's not even a like Timmy Waltz, Tampon Tim
no.
kind of nickname.
No.
You say Jim and then Jim Biden? No, sorry, bro.
Okay.
Strange.
It's very strange.
Another weird element. Here he is, I guess, preaching. We have heard that he's sort of a pastor as well.
Yeah.
And it's in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, where he was pastoring. And here's one of his sermons.
And I'm just as excited about Jesus.
Et je suis juste excité
right
de
here,
Jésus.
right now.
Jusqu'à présent, même maintenant.
And when I get excited,
Et quand je suis excité,
I want to dance.
je veux danser.
And what Jesus did for me.
C'est que Jésus a fait pour moi.
Jesus is God.
Wow.
Jésus est Dieu.
Almighty God.
C'est le Dieu
He
puissant.
saved my life.
Il a sauvé ma vie.
I'm excited about God.
Je suis excité de Dieu.
And I want to worship Him.
Et c'est pourquoi je l'adore.
Because He's coming again. And
Jésus, il revient encore.
And He's got plans. He's got plans
de plans
and purposes
et le dessein
for each one of you
pour chacun de vous ici
and for me.
Et pour moi aussi.
Cool. There he is.
Some weird stuff.
There he is.
So he went from being so excited about Jesus that he had to dance about it back in 2021 to murdering 2 people in cold blood. Pretty sure that's not Jesus related.
I was just going to look it up on my Bible.
Were you going to?
So
okay.
Don't worry about it because it's not Jesus.
No.
Okay.
I think we can just assume that's not part of being excited about Jesus.
Oh, okay.
I watched a video of the suspect. He was, I guess, going to do a college course or some sort of class. And so they had this like little 5-minute introduce yourself, talk about your background. And he's just talking casually about how he takes decedents, dead people, from their homes and takes them to the funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the same breath, he talks about, and then, I went over to Africa and I started planting food for him over there. Anyway, it's a little different than, my funeral home stuff. I mean, the guy is he's just an oddball.
Mm-hmm. Just bizarre. Apparently not all there. Maybe we can chalk it up to that. He's just crazy. So he's got all kinds of different extremes. Manic depressive, probably. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Senator Jeff Merkley had this to say about the situation.
There was a state representative, Democratic leader of the state legislature in Minnesota killed over the weekend, a state senator shot. How would you describe the current political atmosphere in this country this morning?
I feel like Trump has really popped the lid off the rhetoric and the sense of hate and violence and promoted this type of an environment. It's profoundly disturbing.
You are the ones You are the ones calling him a Nazi. You are the one comparing him to Hitler. You are the ones who are doing this. That stuff isn't coming from Trump. That's coming from people like this guy, the Democrats. All right, I don't know if I can get through.
Oh, no, that was it. You made
Was
it.
that it?
Congratulations.
Wow.
You get Pat a sticker.
So I did get through it.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Pat. We're proud of you.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to lead. I wouldn't even get to that point in the response. It's Trump's, blah, blah, blah.
That's when you
Dude
shut him down.
led with that.
You shut him down. Yeah.
Oh.
Look, this is not about Donald Trump. It's got nothing to do with him. Crazy. But, the question was designed to set that up, to get that answer from the guy, because that's what they want. That's just what they want. All right. You know what's worse than lab-grown meat? Grocery store beef pretending to be the real thing. I don't know about you, but the last time I got steak from the grocery store, I think the packaging had more flavor, and it was probably more tender than the steak itself. You don't want to feed that to your family. It's embarrassing. They've entrusted you with the tongs. Grilling is your sacred duty. So you want to eat beef that tastes like it came from a pasture, not a petri dish. Fortunately, that's where Tri-Tails beef comes in. Tri-Tails beef is the real deal. It's a Texas ranch, family-run, pasture-raised, grain-finished Black Angus beef. It's not just another label in the meat aisle. And their beef is raised with a love that you can genuinely taste, from the marbling to the tenderness to that rich, clean flavor. Tri-Tails beef stands up to just anything out there. And if that's not enough to get you excited about Tri-Tails, let me tell you about their latest special. You go to trybeef.com/Pat Gray. You'll get a free pack of steak tips with orders over $249 just for being one of their customers. Feed your family the good stuff. They'll thank you. That's trybeef, T-R-Y, trybeef.com/Pat Gray.
Pat Gray Unleashed is back.
888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Just so much. It's hard to know where to go because there's just too many things. All the things. As the what was her name? Was that a senator? Or she was in the education
teachers
department?
union.
Teachers union. Yeah. And that's what we're dealing with. All the things right now. Let's go back to earlier in the day at the G7 summit in Canada yesterday. Here was President Trump being introduced there.
Honorable Donald J. Trump, President of
So
the
now,
United States of America.
Imagine this setting. With Joe Biden. And we've seen it before. He'd be wandering around back there in the forest.
He'd have no idea. Oh, my gosh, yes.
He'd be stuck behind a tree, trapped in a bush. What a lovely setting this is.
Yeah, it is. That's nice. They would have to lead him over to her.
Oh, yeah.
They'd have to hold his hand and bring him out. Somebody would have been with Biden.
Point to where to stand and all this stuff.
Right. Make sure he doesn't trip on the way. Fall flat on his face.
Fall in the little lake behind, whatever you want to call it.
It is a nice setting, though.
Yeah.
They picked a nice spot for it.
It's actually making me angry because my son and I were going up to Alberta for an Oilers game before the pandemic hit. Maybe I could have seen that in person. Anyway, that's lovely. I love that.
Yeah, it is lovely.
Yeah.
That is lovely. It is nice to have a president who can actually get out to his mark, stand where he was supposed to without being led by the nose. That's fun. That's fun. Almost forgot what that was like. More coming up.
All the things! All the things!
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got some tweets with very small font. Efforting thought criminal tweets. I don't think that the Tim Walz appointee found "thou shalt not murder thine enemies" in Scripture. At least I never found that in my King James Bible. So, that could be a problem. Pathead T jumps around. The Minnesota suspect jumps around just like Governor Walz. Yeah, that must be a Minnesota thing, right?
Oh, no. Been called out, Minnesota.
From C. Anderson? 2C Anderson, or is that a Z?
Z.C. Anderson.
Z.C. Anderson. That officer should have stayed there behind the suspicious vehicle with the lights on and waited for backup.
Yes.
That's how I was trained when I was an officer. I mean, I wasn't even trained, and I think I would have managed that at least.
As a fellow officer myself, or gate guard, as you guys give me a code name,
right?
I would have done the same thing. Actually, I would tell them to get out of their car.
Yeah, would you?
Sorry. Yes.
Did you draw your weapon?
That would be one of my few times I would draw my weapon.
I mean, it is suspicious,
I'm a high
right?
alert.
They won't say anything to you. They're looking straight ahead. They're acting strange. You've had a shooting in the area.
And again, it goes, I know, hindsight.
Yes.
But, like he said, the license plate said police.
Is that confirmed now?
Yes.
And remember, the
well,
wife...
then you knew it was police, right?
Thank you.
Because the license plate can't say that if it's not police.
I'm sorry. I look like an idiot.
You do.
Sorry.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you can go ahead and save that recording. So, love you. The wife that survived said that it looked like a mask.
Yes.
How does the officer 2 feet away not see that it looks like a mask?
That was another one too. It's like the silicone life-alike mask look horrible on these pictures, but you couldn't tell.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly Mission Impossible-esque.
Wait, what?
where it looks exactly like the person.
I mean, if Ethan Hunt was going to wear that, he was going to get caught.
He's going to get caught. Yeah. Somebody's going to shoot him before he even gets started.
Thank you, Joe. So you tell me that doesn't look
look
real?
at that.
Yes, come on. That looks like Halloween.
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it looks like. A Halloween-type mask.
Yes. And I guess from the affidavit, because I've been reading the affidavit, he was knocking and saying, police, police, I have a warrant. Police, police, open up.
Right.
Jeez.
Like, come on.
And a reminder, if that does happen to you, then you call your local sheriff's office.
Call dispatch.
You call dispatch, yes.
Did you dispatch somebody to my house?
Because they will know if someone was dispatched.
Also, is it, are you ever going to have a cop alone? You're going to have at least two cops together at the door. Again, it's 2:24 a.m.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that the homeowners are I'm not blaming them for any of this. I'm just trying to say, if this does happen to you, try to remember in the back of your mind, this may not be an officer of the law in front of your house. Call dispatch, like you said, Pat. Let's make sure that we're all on the same page.
Especially with all the swatting that has happened in the past.
Which is so dangerous.
And then going back to Keith, yes, that was at 2:36 when he was approached by the female police officer. And at 2:24, that's when he went to the other house and no one was there. And he said, this is the police. Open the door. This is the police. We have a warrant.
Wow. All right. Back to what was going on at the G7 over the weekend. President Trump said this about the G7, formerly the G8.
Together very well. I look forward to that. The G7 used to be the G8. Barack Obama and a person named Trudeau didn't want to have Russia in. And I would say that that was a mistake, because I think you wouldn't have a war right now if you had Russia in. And you wouldn't have a war right now if Trump were president 4 years ago. But it didn't work out that way. But it used to be the G8. And now it's, I guess, what's that, 8 years ago, it switched over. They threw Russia out, which I claimed was a very big mistake. Even though I wasn't in politics then, I was very loud about it. It was a mistake in that you spend so much time talking about Russia, and he's no longer at the table. So it makes life more complicated. But you wouldn't have had the war. Other than that, I think we're going to accomplish a lot.
He was also asked about ICE enforcement of immigration in the U.S.
I want them to focus on the cities, because the cities are where you really have what's called sanctuary cities, and that's where the people are. I look at New York, I look at Chicago. I mean, you got a really bad governor in Chicago and a bad mayor, but the governor's probably the worst in the country, Pritzker. But I look at how that city has been overrun by criminals, and New York and L.A. Look at L.A. L.A. Those people weren't from L.A. They weren't from California. Most of those people, many of those people, and that's a focus. Biden allowed 21 million people to come into our country. Of that, vast numbers of those people were murderers, killers, people from gangs, people from jails. They emptied their jails out into the U.S. Most of those people are in the cities, all blue cities, all Democrat-run cities, and they think they're going to use them to vote. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and you remember late last week we talked about the president had been putting on Truth Social how, maybe we don't go after the farms and the hotel workers. Well, that policy was very short-lived, apparently, because the Trump administration is reportedly reversing a recently formulated plan to refrain from conducting immigration raids against undocumented migrants.
Good.
In the agricultural, hotel, and restaurant industries just days after adopting the original policy. So there you go. That didn't last long.
Right.
The base did not like that.
You know what? More Americans support his efforts on immigration now than they did before the riots began in Los Angeles. 51% of Americans approve of Trump's immigration and border security policies, according to an NBC poll. That's up 2% from a similar poll taken in April before the riot began. As always, NBC, of course, focused on the negative with the headline, Americans disapprove of Trump's performance. Although 45% overall approval rating is higher than Biden's 42% and Trump's 41% in his first term. But that's not how it's going to be spun in the media. Meanwhile, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni was again forced to talk with French President Emmanuel Macron.
Yeah, we played this earlier. Yeah.
Oh, we already played
eye
it?
roll, yeah.
Oh, the eye roll. Okay. Yeah.
And I will say on Trump and the immigration policies, there has been so much third worldification of our country. It's common sense. It's so obvious that people would want this to continue, the mass deportations, to continue to deport all of these criminals that were allowed in. Stick with what works, man. This is what brought you to the dance, and people love it. Stick with this because there's a lot of support out there, and I even think Democrats quietly support this. I mean, not all of them are as vocal as we are on the right, but I think they are quietly saying, yeah, you know what, I kind of like this. I think it's the very vocal ones.
Folks, imagine what we can do next.
Oh, no, not this guy again.
4 more years. Pause.
So you want 4 more years, right? So Trump
Right.
2028?
Right.
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing.
Interesting statistic, though. President Trump just kind of threw out there that 21 million illegals entered during
I heard that, yeah.
during Joe Biden.
Yes, he said
Is that the new figure now? Because it was 10 million, then it was 12 million.
I was kind of hung up on that, too.
Are we getting the truth now? It was really 21 million?
And that is before 2021, in addition to what happened before 2021?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh.
Uh-huh.
So
if
how
that's
many was
just the last 4 years under Biden,
right?
That is a staggering number.
I was hung up on that, too, because I was thinking, you know, we've been throwing around 20 million
for a long time.
before 2021.
For sure.
You add in that, we'd have to go and look at the numbers. And plus,
you're talking 40 or 50 million illegals in this country. If 21 million more came during the last Biden administration.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's a lot of people.
Yes, it is. And I mean, that skews all the numbers. The daily statistics we heard, those were vastly understated. The monthly, 21 million in 4 years. That's over 5 million a year.
The border is dynamic.
Yeah, that's pretty dynamic.
So never mind the hotels and the strawberry fields. Who's going to wipe our butts, though, you know?
Well,
We're not going to have anybody around to wipe our asses because we don't have enough people.
Right. They're not going to have. What does a good ass wiper make in today's economy, I wonder? Chris?
Minimum wage. Minimum wage, I'm sorry.
Minimum wage?
Minimum wage.
For that job?
Well, no American wants to do it.
No? No, that
no
is
American
true.
wants to do it.
Well, that's true.
So you have to find
So you
the
got to
person
find an
that just
illegal
crossed
alien.
illegally and just want to make a better life.
Okay.
And if you make, $7, $7.25 wiping butts, hey, send that back to Mexico.
But Josh Hawley will take care of that.
Thank you. $20, right?
15, I think.
15? Okay, sorry.
Whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It should be
$15
zero.
for Josh Hawley, so.
So weird. Again, the whole dynamic with, if only we could get a Republican majority in the House, a Republican majority in the Senate, and have the White House all be Republican. You imagine what we could get done. Can you even imagine? Sky's the limit. I mean, they'd fix this country in 4 years, and it would stay fixed.
Okay.
With that kind of scenario.
So now what I want you to do is imagine not only that scenario, but imagine that happening twice in 8 years, where you get a Republican president, Republican House.
Wow.
Republican
Can you
Senate.
even imagine?
Bro.
No. I mean, then you're talking utopia.
Then you're talking
a perfect society. That's what you're talking about.
We're back at the Garden of Eden.
And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. That's why Democrats can't allow it. They don't want that utopia. They don't want it. And so they'll continue to fight us on it. But man, if only we could get that majority, things would be great.
Y'all keep fighting in the trenches for it to happen, y'all. We'll get there.
One day.
It's a dream. It's a dream. And you got to have a dream. The Salt Lake protest that happened, and one person was shot dead at the protest. They arrested and charged the guy who kind of instigated all of that, and he's a radical leftist. Arturo Gamboa, 24-year-old member of the leftist Utah-based punk band Raid, apprehended at the scene wearing all black and having a semi-automatic rifle. He was a No Kings liberal peacekeeper. Okay. So that's weird. I mean, apparently they were trying to, one of the peacekeepers was trying to take him out because they saw him with the AR-15 or AK-47, whatever he was carrying. So he fired 3 shots at the guy, barely grazed him, but killed this Samoan man. Really, really sad.
Project Runway contestant.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's being charged with murder because of his part in this. It was Arthur Afa Alu, who was a 39-year-old fashion designer, and he died from his injuries in the hospital.
Boy,
really
again,
a sad situation.
Again, just like we talked about earlier, being a police officer is an impossible job.
Very
Oh,
difficult.
yes.
But whenever you're firing a weapon, know what's behind your target.
Yeah. And nobody on the left knows that. They hate weapons to begin with, but they're so paranoid about this violence on the right that's supposedly out there. You know, the white supremacists that are out there, the Rittenhouses out there, that they're carrying weapons with them that they don't know how to use. It's kind of the problem. All right, 888-900-3393. Qualia Senolytics is at the frontier of what is currently possible in the science of human aging. Senolytics are a science field revolutionizing human aging. A big culprit behind that middle-aged feeling can be a senescent cell, also known as zombie cells. Much easier to pronounce, too. Those linger in your body after their useful function, and they waste your energy, your resources. So let me break it down a little bit. The accumulation of the zombie cells leads to less energy, slower workout recovery, joint discomfort. You just basically feel old and achy all the time. You know that feeling? Yeah. Sadly, I have to say, yeah, I do. But that's why there's Qualia Senolytics, clinically tested supplements with 9 vegan plant-derived compounds that help your body naturally eliminate those senescent cells. And it helps you feel years younger in just a few months. Here's how it works. You take it just 2 days a month. 2 days a month. And that helps your body naturally eliminate those zombie cells so that you age better at the cellular level. And Qualia's breakthrough formulation is vegan, non-GMO, and it's been tested by leading scientists. So experience the science of feeling younger. Go to qualialife.com/Pat. That's QUALIA, qualialife.com/Pat, and get 20% off your purchase. And use the promo code PAT for an additional 15%. QUALIA, qualialife.com/Pat for an extra 15% off your purchase. Your older self will thank you, and we want to thank Qualia for sponsoring this episode.
Subscribe to Pat Gray Unleashed on Apple Music and Spotify. Pat Gray Unleashed.
The Media Research Center just did a study that they published on Friday, revealing how many times reporters and anchors on cable news outlets, this is just CNN and MSNBC, how many times did they refer to the violent protests and riots in Los Angeles as peaceful? This is great. It was only 211 times. 211. That's not bad in 3 or 4 days of coverage of that event. According to the study, CNN aired more than half, 123 of those mentions, and the other 88 were on MSNBC's coverage. Good. Fox News anchor Dana Perino brought up the study with former White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany on America's Newsroom Monday, and the two discussed the obvious disparities between what people saw playing out in Los Angeles and what CNN and MSNBC were saying about it. So that was just, okay, and that was just between June 7th and June 11th. Incredible. 211 times. But they have no bias. You know, these are just good, hardcore journalists doing respectable journalism. That's all that is. California lawmakers want face coverings removed, by the way, from law enforcement officials like ICE because, man,
it's easier
do they hate masks? Remember how opposed they were to masks during the COVID era? Oh, no, that's right. They weren't. They loved masks. Masks made sense. Everybody should wear a mask.
Right. So Antifa with a mask, good.
Oh, that's really good.
Law enforcement officer with a mask, bad.
And a mask that does absolutely nothing to protect you from disease or viruses, that's good. But wearing it to prevent doxing and ICE agent, that's really, really bad. You're a Nazi if that's what you're doing. So anyway, here's that report.
Yeah, if I can just elaborate, people covering their faces, impersonating police officers.
Right.
It erodes trust in law enforcement and it undermines community safety. That's really what this bill is about. And I think
they're not
enforcement officials, legitimate law enforcement officials.
Pause it for a sec. Did you notice he also said impersonating law enforcement?
Exactly what they're trying to do.
Oh my gosh.
They're trying to use Minnesota
so dangerous
for this
so dangerous
law in California.
Right. All right, let him finish here. Good God.
Would welcome,
incredible.
Putting in safeguards to ensure transparency and accountability. And I think the concern is a lot that's happening. There are a lot of people who are engaged in these enforcement actions, and we don't know, are they federal? Are they contractors? Are they local law enforcement? And so we're requiring that people not have to wear masks except for some very limited exceptions.
No, let's hear
and that there be identifying information ensures that we know who is involved here.
Wow.
It's also critical to uphold our state and local laws, including our sanctuary law, SB 54, which says that local law enforcement are not going to be involved in immigration enforcement. So this is, I think, furthering the state's efforts to ensure legitimate law enforcement purposes and to protect Californians.
Is there a dumber state than California anywhere?
I found the exceptions to the No Secret Police Act.
What are they?
SB 627 in California. SWAT teams.
Okay, why SWAT teams?
I don't know. It just says officers engaged. Yeah. Medical grade masks. Okay, well there you go. ICE, wear your medical grade masks. It says for health reasons. Let's see, wildfire protection gear and transparent riot gear. So you can wear it, the face shield.
Okay,
but you got to be able to see your face at the riot.
All right,
there you go.
There you go. Those are limited exceptions. I thought there'd be a few more, but I guess not.
So,
all right.
Wear your medical grade N95 mask for health reasons when you're on an ICE raid.
Well, we do have another outbreak, do we not, of a latest strain of COVID-19? So,
we?
Yeah.
Yawn.
Yeah, we do, Keith. And
What's
they couldn't wear it because of that.
Oh, what do we got? It's Nimbus, I think it's called. The Nimbus strain.
That's when you got to get your next vaccine, right? What is it called? It's called Manext.
Oh yeah, Manext.
Manext shot or Manext spike.
Manext spike.
Yeah, you got to get that protein spike.
Got to get that protein spike. Thank you.
Yeah, because it's so good for you, and I think that's what they've uncovered with a lot of research.
My doctor told me I need more protein in my diet.
Really? Spike proteins though, or just?
Oh, he didn't clarify.
Oh, okay. I'm sure he meant spike protein.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
got it.
I'm sure. So walk us through, Chris, this new Trump mobile situation.
Yeah, so yesterday I was able to attend virtually a press release by the Trump organization, and they came out with a Trump phone. So go ahead and put that landing page. The 47 plan for $47.45 a month. You get to be part of the T1 mobile phone, which is a Trump one, I guess, phone number. But it's interesting because it also comes with health care. You could call Teladoc, and it's all included in the plan. You can Teladoc a doctor and get pharmacy discounts. $47.45, but if you want to get the new Android, which is the T1 Android phone, that's $599 pre-sales
for the phone.
For the phone,
okay.
Yes.
Wait, why is it 47.45?
Well, that's
why isn't it 47.47?
Or why isn't it 45.47?
That's exactly what I was a little upset about. Give me the 45.47. Don't give me the 47.45.
Yeah, $2, man.
Yeah, save me the $2.
Why'd they do it in a different order?
But no credit check. Just sign up and you're good to go.
No credit check.
And you get, supposedly, the same coverage as the 3 nationwide phone service.
Yes, you can.
Phone service carriers for just $47.45 a month.
I came this close of jumping ship from blue bubbles to the green bubble.
Really?
Yes, just to get the T1 phone.
Doesn't it look like
serious?
Eric Swalwell?
It sure does.
It sure does.
I was thinking
Are they using Eric Swalwell as their model for this?
Yeah, so what it is, you heard Chris mentions no credit check, whatever. It allows you to call China, I guess, free of charge if you have a honey over there that you need to keep in touch with. Eric Swalwell, of course.
Oh, okay.
Loves that plan.
Huh.
It's the China direct plan.
You stay in touch with Fang if you need to.
And others.
Give her extra secrets so that she'll treat you extra nice when she comes back over again.
That's the important part.
Yeah, really important. That's great.
So that's TrumpMobile.com.
Trump Mobile. And obviously this is from his sons, right? Because he can't have anything to do with this right now.
Junior doing the press conference with Eric.
Okay. They got a lot of stuff going on right now.
They do, Pat.
in the Trump industries. And that's just one of them. He's also selling watches, shoes,
and the wine
There's
collection.
There's a million different things. Oh, this is really cool. My son gave me this for Father's Day. Okay, you got the Making Father's Day Great Again. Then you open it up. I love you, Dad. It says in a Trump voice.
That's cool.
Is that cool?
Aw.
I love you, Dad.
So great. Pat Gray Unleashed.
Got some tweets here. Lone Wolf 2965 tweets, can we take a moment to say well done to the No Kings movement? It's been 3 days and still no kings in America.
Save the Queen, man.
That's great. Mission accomplished.
All because of them.
Yeah, well done. Well done, No Kings movement. It's Rhino season. Tweets, apparently the peacekeeper in Salt Lake City committed a mostly peaceful murder. That's exactly what happened. Adrian Slade Show. So a good guy with a gun is scoffed at by the left, but during leftist rallies, they can get any random person to be an armed peacekeeper. Yes. That's exactly how they operate, too. It is exactly how they operate. Senator Cory Booker went on a date once, and he wants to tell you about that, I guess.
In a podcast.
Is this a podcast?
This is not his podcast. This is him as a guest.
Okay.
Can I just say, I don't know, I'm very late to this train, but Governor Ron DeSantis has a podcast.
Yes, he does.
Because I just watched an awesome interview he did with former Atlanta Braves Hall of Fame pitcher Tom Glavine. It was awesome conversation. I had no idea that Ron DeSantis
I didn't know that either.
Had a podcast.
Setting up for when he leaves office, huh? That's probably going to be his gig since, I don't know, is the president thing over for him? I
hope not.
I hope not too, but it feels like it. Feels like that day has come and gone. But I don't know. Maybe he can reopen that window.
I want you to think of this for a moment. How interesting that people that had no alignment with Donald Trump whatsoever are in his good graces and in many cases in his administration.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah. Tulsi Gabbard,
right.
Robert Kennedy Jr.,
yes.
Elon Musk. I mean, it's a big tent. It's
sure is.
But go to a Trump supporter, and many of them, Ron DeSantis is dead to them.
Do you remember how much he supported Trump in the beginning? When he first ran for Florida governor, I think, what was it, 2018, 2017, somewhere in there. I don't know. But he was as Trump as you could possibly get.
His commercials,
he was Mr. MAGA in his commercial. And that was his whole thing to win the governorship in Florida. And now he's persona non grata now in that movement. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's Cory Booker on going on a date once.
This guy.
famous you've dated or gone on a date with that we don't know about?
This is going to make some news, I guess, but years ago, I was set up on sort of a blind date with Mariah Carey.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Stop.
Yeah.
Come on.
It was one of those times where you just know you're in the presence of somebody that has a grandeur about them. And I'm not talking about her talent, but she just has
What are you
this
talking about?
light. And,
Yeah.
Oh, light.
We laughed and had a good time. It was clearly
Did ya?
not a love match.
Uh-huh.
But
Why wasn't it a love match? Why didn't it work out?
'Cause I'm gay.
No second date? I have questions. Did she A, corroborate the story, or B, her infamous, I don't know him?
Is that a song?
When she hears this,
Now
which
suddenly
way
I feel.
is she going?
Now suddenly I feel some kind of way. But her brother or cousin was there too. There were witnesses. Don't deny me, Mariah. Don't deny me now.
Good stuff.
I want to talk to Mariah Carey about it now.
I want to talk to her about it too. Do you guys believe it? I don't. I don't believe it.
Oh, you don't think he?
I don't think so. I think he was there with her, and they were gonna say, "Hey, we're gonna set you up with Mariah Carey." I don't think Mariah Carey knew that was a date with Cory Booker.
And I'd like to know when that was.
Me too.
Because he said he's not talking about her talent. So was this before she was famous?
Yeah, like how long ago?
Well, it's a while ago.
That's a while ago. Yes.
She's been pretty big for a long time.
That's Queen Bee, bro.
Okay, so
I think Beyonce is.
that's Queen Bee.
Yeah, get your
right.
queens right. Cory Booker was born in 1969. Mariah Carey was born in 1969. They're the same age.
Oh, imagine that.
They're only a month apart.
Wow.
So there you go.
It
So,
didn't work out.
So when did she become famous? I mean, she's been famous since the 90s.
Early
earlier than that.
90s.
Yeah.
If not even the late 80s, maybe.
Oh.
She's been around a long time.
Corey, I doubt she remembers that at all.
I would love to know. I really want to know.
I really want to know. Yes.
I had no desire to talk to Mariah Carey until just now.
First single,
just now. Now we got to figure it out.
Yeah, first single for Mariah Carey came out in 1990.
Okay.
So
and what was it? What was her first?
Vision of Love.
Okay.
I guess. Maybe.
Don't remember that song
like that.
at all.
Yeah, right. So so she was about 21 years old. Guessing she doesn't. So if this happened before she was famous, they were very, very young.
Yeah. That's interesting. Is there a number of people can call, Ivan? Or?
Oh, yes, right down the wall.
Okay,
I mean, right there in front of you.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. I'm so sorry. All right, Keith has a game for us.
Yes, I do.
You make the call.
Oh, yeah. You remember those commercials. Okay, so this is former Defense Intelligence Officer Rebekah Koffler during the U.S. Army parade on Saturday. Now, as you watch this, what has been circulating are reports that she was, inebriated.
Really?
During this, and so they took her off.
Okay.
Again, no one has. That's what's being reported, and as you watch this interview unfold, you'll see they quickly get her off the air. Apparently, she had posted something earlier with champagne, saying "Getting ready for my hit on Fox News." Blah blah blah. So you make the call. Is she inebriated?
With us now is former Defense Intel Agency officer Rebekah Koffler. Rebekah, what are your thoughts tonight on the incredible symbolism and the messaging that we saw here tonight from the Commander-in-Chief on the Army's 250th birthday?
I am so excited, Emily and Lucas Thompson.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody, this is incredible. Finally, the United States
I think Pat's already voted.
Yeah, I have.
To really thank
well, let's see. Let's see if this gets better. Hang on, she might pull it out of the nose.
All right, yeah.
Officers who have been sacrificing their lives, literally.
Literally.
Their families have been contributing to the mission.
Okay.
Most of the time, for the past quarter of a century,
you make the call
because of the mismanagement of the.
This is bad.
The administrative states, they've been fighting these foreign wars, but with our new chief,
you make the call.
They're prioritizing America first.
Okay, hang on.
And I want to thank
you're going to
these
hear the
officers
anchors,
for
Lawrence
all of
included
these
here.
sacrifices
Be like,
and,
okay. He's got it in the ear. They're in his ear. They're in his ear.
That their families
Yes,
have endured.
yes.
Lawrence Jones, you are doing. You're rapping, man. Like you guys are fair, Lucas.
Thank you.
I want to thank.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much, Rebekah. Thank you, and thank you for your service, too. Well, our final thoughts on the historic
We're up
patriotic
against a break.
celebration when we return.
We gotta go. We're all out of time, hon.
Okay, so I didn't know anything about.
I absolutely believe she's drunk.
Okay, so
Yes.
I didn't know anything about Rebekah Koffler except for that clip that's been going around. And I thought, let me find another clip of her, okay? So you both think she's inebriated?
Yes.
Okay, so
Play
here's
the very beginning again, just to reinforce that. The very beginning of it. When she starts talking, she is so slurred and slow that you can't help but believe she's drunk.
Okay.
Chief on the Army's 250th birthday.
I am so excited. Lucas Tomlinson. Everybody.
Okay. All right. So you got another clip of her.
So I went back, I think this is from like a month or so ago, and she's in the Fox News studio. Now, she says it was an audio issue. I want to get that out there. She says during the Army thing she was having an audio issue.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's possible.
Okay.
That would mess you up.
Right. So let's go to the clip from about a month ago.
What is Putin demanding here, and where do things go?
Sure. So Putin's demands have always been the following. No NATO membership for Ukraine, no U.S. Boots on the ground on the battlefield, and no security, peacekeeping forces there. And also, in addition to that, Putin wants to transform the entire relationship between Russia and the U.S., and that means to completely reverse everything that took place during former President Biden's term, and that is bring the Russian diplomats back, which literally a lot of them are intelligence officers, open back the consulates that were shutting down, that were basically bases for spying operations for Russia. Remove the sanctions.
So it's somewhat better. Okay. She's either drunk or just really bad at what she does.
I am so excited. Emily and Lucas Tomlinson.
So has Fox said anything about this?
I don't know that
There's been no statement. She hasn't been fired or anything, right? Or has she?
Don't know.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to get me a beer.
Yeah, I think she already had several of those moments.
But she was born in Russia, so it's not her first language.
Okay.
English. So you've already locked in. You can change your answer. You make the call.
I say she was drunk.
You're sticking with it?
I'm still saying she's drunk.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I get it, the whole language and the
language.
I get
you
that.
do get that.
I get that.
Yeah, you do.
Do I sound drunk to you guys?
No.
Okay, then yeah, she's drunk.
No. Yeah, no, not at all.
She can't. She said she's a German.
Russian. Russian
She can't
born.
handle her alcohol.
I don't know, man. We don't do stereotypes on here. We don't fat shame, and we don't do stereotypes.
That's right.
Come
Thank
on
you.
now.
I apologize.
Thank you for that reminder.
So there you
Really
go.
important.
Just an interesting moment from this past weekend.
Very interesting.
That's fun.
Okay. We're just days away now from what's been dubbed as the Rio Reset, the greatest threat to the U.S. dollar's global dominance in probably 80 years. On July 6th, BRICS nations, Russia, China, India, Iran, and more, are expected to unveil their plans to circumvent the U.S. dollar, thus creating and cratering its value. They've already been laying the groundwork, as their central banks have been methodically divesting from the U.S. dollar and U.S. bonds in favor of gold. Now, how can you protect your IRA or 401k from the fallout from this landmark shift? Well, you diversify with gold from Birch Gold Group. Historically, gold has been a safe haven in times of high uncertainty, which is right now. You can get a free kit, an info kit on tax-sheltered gold IRAs by texting the word PAT to 989898. July 6th marks a monumental shift happening among nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP. So arm yourself with information to diversify your retirement savings. Just text PAT to the number 989898. Get your free info kit from Birch Gold. There's no obligation, just a lot of great information. You can decide if it's right for you. Again, text Pat to the number 989898.
Pat Gray returns.
Now, okay, I know you've locked in your answer that she was inebriated, but I just remembered. Remember we went to a company party. You and I were there 25-something years ago, maybe, back in Houston?
Yes.
And it was
a Christmas party.
It was a Christmas party, and you were on your way out. You and Jackie were there, and you kind of leaned in, and we were talking, and you thought for the rest of the weekend that I was drunk.
Absolutely seemed drunk, yes.
At that time, I was a teetotaler. I didn't have a sip of alcohol that night.
Wow,
not
what
forever.
happened to you?
Life.
Holy cow.
Yeah, don't get me started. I mean,
What a fall.
If I had a couch here, I could lay here and tell you all about it.
Okay.
But bottom line is, I hadn't had a sip.
Right.
But boy,
But I would have sworn up and down that you'd been drinking all
I
night.
knew as I was talking how I sounded because it was so loud in there, and I couldn't hear. It was an auditory issue the way she claimed. So again, last chance to change your answer.
No, I still say
drunk.
Okay.
I mean, do we have a definitive answer on it?
No. If I get one though, we're bringing it to.
Can
the
you
table.
reach out to her?
Yeah.
Not going to be doing that.
Because I can't imagine she wasn't drunk with the slurred speech like that. She's either got a it could have been an issue in her ear.
Yeah.
If people are talking to you or you've got like a delay,
echo.
Yeah,
that could do it. That could do it. That's really hard to speak live while you've got words from 2 seconds ago going through your head. Makes it really, really hard. So it could be that.
I guess the only way we'll know is if Fox fires her.
Right.
Ooh.
Or they don't call her as much as they did
go to
before.
CNN. If she goes to CNN, she'll be the hostess of their New Year's Eve party.
Yes.
Every year.
With Anderson Cooper.
They don't seem to have a problem with people being drunk
Don
on that
Lemon,
particular thing.
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
Don Lemon.
I'm saying.
Anderson Cooper. They're always drunk.
Right.
Every New Year's.
Yep.
Cool.
Some of those people aren't even there anymore. Lemon
is not there.
I guess he's the only one. Well, I think they got rid of Kathy Griffin, too.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
I think they've had enough of her.
Don Lemon, remember he was going to do a show on X?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he pissed off
Elon. Mm-hmm.
So now what is... Seriously, what is it? Because we played some weird... Yeah, we played some weird video of him holding up a donkey picture to the train.
Yeah, he's doing TikToks and men on the street interviews on his
boy, he's good.
social media accounts.
Wow.
And they're so good because we play them all the time.
Oh, man.
Riveting,
so
news
good.
breaking.
So good. I'll bet, like, ones of people are watching that thing.
People,
How?
yes, I agree.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as dozens, but I bet ones are probably watching.
You say he's on TikTok, Chris?
Yes, he's on
Can
TikTok.
you tell on TikTok how many people watch videos?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Should be on the bottom right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bottom right or in the middle.
Well, let's see here. I don't know. When did he post this video? He posted it 14 hours ago. He got 7,000 people to watch.
7,000.
I mean,
that's a good start for him.
That's a good start.
I'm not going to scoff at that personally, but from someone who was at CNN.
There you go.
Okay, so then if you backtrack all of his videos, 7,000, 50,000, 100,000, so 500,000.
Oh,
so like Pap said, ones.
Boy, this guy's.
So
does it just autoplay on TikTok?
Yes,
it does autoplay on TikTok. Yes.
It's the ones of people watching it multiple times,
And then they leave the room, their phone's sitting on the counter, and it keeps playing Don Lemon videos.
Yeah. His significant other or life partner has watched it like 30,000 times. And so,
well, they got multiple phones.
Yeah, that's right.
Don Lemon.
All right. Also, to keep a light tone as we just finish up today, got a list of the most beautiful songs ever recorded. See if you agree with this list. Okay? So we agree that Rebekah, what's her face? Koffler or whatever? Koffler was drunk.
Yes.
Do we agree these are the most beautiful songs ever written?
Okay.
At number 1, Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen.
Yes.
Really good.
But okay, so we're
It's
doing
beautiful. That is a beautiful song.
I just want to say, we're doing written or the song?
No, the song.
Okay.
Yeah. This calls it a masterpiece of emotion and storytelling with its haunting melody and poetic lyrics. The song has touched people all over the world.
Yeah, but Jeff Buckley owns that now.
He was really good, but we lost him. At number 2, Again, this makes every list known to man. I don't know why. It's just the Communist Manifesto put to music, imagined by John Lennon. God, I hate that song.
You would think that'll be number one, but number two, okay.
Number two. At number three, Yesterday by the Beatles, which started out as Scrambled Eggs. Wouldn't have been quite so beautiful had he kept that particular lyric, Scrambled Eggs. So Yesterday by the Beatles, Paul McCartney creation there. A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke at number 4. The fifth, most beautiful song of all time, What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. You like that one, Chris? Really? Seriously? Do you ever listen to it?
World. Yes.
Yes. Myself. What a wonderful world.
Oh my gosh, he's here.
Beautiful. Yeah,
it's like he's here.
Incomparable beauty right there. I don't know if I'd call this one beautiful so much as fantastic. It's one of the great songs of all time, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 6. Adele is at number 7 with Someone Like You. I don't really know her music really well. Anybody know that song? Is it beautiful? Someone Like You?
Okay, hold on a second. If Jeffy were here, come on now.
Come on now. It's Adele.
Oh, yes. This is the song that made her famous. Yes. Oh, this is a great song. I can't play it because we'll get hit.
Right.
But,
Yes, we will.
Yes, this is a great song. Yes.
At number 8, Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel.
That's good.
It's a beautiful song. One of the top songs of 1970. Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. Big one. Pretty much beloved. Tears in Heaven. We talked about this on some other list a while ago.
Yeah.
Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. Really sad and beautiful song about whether or not his 5-year-old son, who died tragically, fell out of a 50-story window. Would he know his name in heaven? Because Eric didn't feel worthy to be there with him. Really sad. That's just heartbreaking. Fields of Gold by Sting. Okay. Number 12, Your Song. Not one of my favorite Elton John songs, but I know a lot of people like that. Fix You by Coldplay.
Oh, okay.
You like that one?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think The Scientist is better, but okay.
Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton.
Wait,
Another good song.
He gets on there twice, huh?
Yes, he does.
All right.
At number 15, so I've never liked this song. Tracy Chapman, Fast Car. Oh, come on now. That'd be another Jeffy one.
I was just going to say, I can
Tracy Chapman.
I can
come
hear
on
Jeffy
now.
already.
Come on now. Where's Elvis? That's the other thing
That's
he'd be
another
saying
one,
right
yes.
now. Where's Elvis?
And then you'll be saying...
he's getting another nanner sandwich, man. That's what I'd be saying.
There you go.
Yeah. He's asking Scylla to get him another nanner sandwich is where he is right now. Let It Be by the Beatles. Brilliant and beautiful song. Number 16. I think it deserves to be higher than that. I don't know if this is on the list, but Something by the Beatles. George Harrison wrote that song, sang that song. Frank Sinatra once called it the greatest song ever written. And I don't know that it's even on this list, but that's a great one too. All of Me by John Legend. I have a hard time with him because of his wife and
She's
all
a
of their
psycho.
nasty politics.
Yes, and nasty sex relations.
Oh, that too?
Yes.
Yeah. Between the two of them, or
It's just her. She's a
just her?
weirdo. Yes.
Yeah, she is a weirdo. The Sound of Silence. Simon and Garfunkel has 2 on the list as well. Fleetwood Mac's Songbird. Okay. Yeah, I could go with that. Whitney Houston, never been a fan of
Really?
I Will Always Love You.
Oh, okay. I like that one.
You do?
Yes.
You do like
Yes,
that one?
I do like that
So you've listened to more than Christian music?
Yes.
From time
Yes,
to time?
From time to time, yes.
Okay. Dolly Parton actually wrote that song. I Will Always Love You. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Number 21, Bob Dylan, Make You Feel My Love. That is a good song. He doesn't sing it well, but it's a nice song. And number 22, Ave Maria by Beyonce. I didn't know she did that song. Was that played on the radio? Ave Maria? Wow.
And these are Most beautiful songs ever written.
Most beautiful songs ever written.
No Beach Boys, God Only Knows?
Not so far.
All right.
I love that song, though. That's a great song. Number 23, Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. Okay. Year of our Lord, 1984, I think. Let Her Go by Passenger. Never heard of it. Don't know who Passenger is, but okay. That's 24. And at number 25, another song I don't know by Snow Patrol, Chasing Cars.
Oh, all right. Cool.
Do you know it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You do?
So
Okay.
that's the end of the list?
That's it.
What? No, Never My Love by The Association?
Not there.
Not I Will Not Take These Things for Granted by Toad the Wet Sprocket?
Not there.
This list is flawed.
Yeah, it is. No Lovin' You by Minnie Riperton.
Oh, right?
Which we just heard from another list earlier, that was one of the worst songs of the 70s. I disagree with that.
So there's no Megadeth on this list?
No Megadeth.
What?
No.
No Metallica?
Nope. No Slayer.
Oh!
No Justice. There's just no justice in the world.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.